morning, guys. Welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. I'm moving into video 2, day 2 of all the excitement with all the goat babies and everything going on. All the mamas have not delivered yet. We have 3 deliveries overnight. Unfortunately, one of them was a stillbirth, and the mama is in mourning right now, so we're helping her. She's going to be okay, but unfortunately, the buckling was born passed immediately. So, I mean, I don't know what happened there. She seemed to have had a stressful labor. I'm sure I've got stuff on my glasses. But she's doing okay. Then we had a second birth from one of the new mamas, and I was concerned about her, Pepper. She's very skittish, and I just really sort of was dreading it because my concern was that she was going to have the babies and then abandon them. Well, she did exactly that, unfortunately. And the good positive news is we were there to catch the babies. I mean, I stood back and waited to see what she would do. She didn't tend to the first one at all. And then she had the second one, and she pretty much ran off. So we took the babies. They are doelings, and they are right now sleeping in our bathroom. They are taking feed like crazy. They're warmed up. We've done everything with them. So they're probably going to be bottle babies. I am thinking about, though, however, by the way, welcome back to the channel. If I didn't say that, we haven't slept in like 48. How much sleep have we gotten in 48 hours, James? Maybe 5 hours? Yeah. So what I'm considering doing is introducing the 2 rejected babies to the one that lost her babies. Her one baby. She only had one baby. The buckling. So I don't know if that's going to work out. I just don't know yet. So we're going to kind of play that by ear. My goal is to get them through the first critical 24 hours, making sure they have a lot of colostrum. The good thing is this mama down here, Miss Salt, is milking like a cow. I mean, she is producing like crazy colostrum and now moving into milk. There is still some colostrum in here. So we are able to help the other babies that were rejected. So all the babies that were born alive are all thriving, warm, doing great. And we are still waiting on, 5 girls, baby? We're waiting on 5 more. So we're going to keep filming. We'll keep you posted. I know there's a lot going on in the world right now. We're keeping up with that as best we can. But frankly, we're busier than a one-legged goat in a butt-kicking contest. I about said butt-licking contest, but, well, that's what goats do too, so I guess that's correct. So I put in some clips of me syringe feeding 2 of the babies. I'm syringe feeding Mars and, Pinto Bean and Butterbean. They are Salt's baby. She is the one that is producing. I've never seen a goat produce this much milk this early in the game. She is phenomenal, and she is a first-time mommy. And she's with her babies. She tended her babies. She cleaned her babies. But her teats are so big, they're having trouble latching on to them. So what we've been doing is, like you see here, I'm milking her, and then I'm syringe feeding them. We will move to a bottle today. I syringe feed them the first 24 hours because I want them to have the colostrum. It allows me to measure exactly what they're getting, how much they're taking. It's easier for them to take within the first 24 hours. And then we're going to transition to the actual bottles. If they can latch onto her, then that's what's going to happen, because she loves all these babies over here. Not all these mamas in here are all. There's 3 mamas and 5 babies in here, and they're all tending to all the babies. So it's a really good situation over here, and they're all doing great. So we have Miles. Where is he? He's the big boy. He's laying down. We have Miles. We have Mars Bar, Venus, Pinto Bean, and Butterbean. And they're just so happy together in here. So we've got a really good situation over here. Inside of the barn, we have Tolly. She had 2 bucklings. We haven't named them. We did name, excuse me, I am so sorry. We did name them Nuggy and Hishki. Guys, I'm sleep deprived. I don't even know what I'm saying. And then we have the 2 babies down in the house right now. We haven't named them yet. We've been too tired to even think about names yet. But all the mamas are doing good so far, even the one, unfortunately, that has had a stillbirth. Like I said, that's Katniss. So if you've been with us for a while, you know Katniss was raised in the house. She was a bottle baby. And she didn't reject anything. It's just the baby didn't make it. So we'll see how this works out. But everybody so far, otherwise, is doing really great. And we are anticipating more births. That could happen today. It could happen next week. Like I said, we're not on a specific timeline. But clearly, like I said, when we put Rip out, when we put... Oh, I'm sorry, baby. Oh, my goodness. Butterbean. When we put Rip out, it's very obvious that the first-time mamas were the first ones to go into heat. Somebody was asking me on a question about why you don't really pick and choose when goats have babies, just like you necessarily won't pick and choose when you have babies. You may be active, but that doesn't mean you get pregnant necessarily. You have to be, these girls have to be in heat. Most Nubians, they go into heat in the fall, September, October, November. That's why you see so many people having babies, goat babies in February and March. A lot of ours came into heat. Most of ours came into heat. So we're watching a few. Like I said, we are stagger birthing. We may have a couple that could go to Thanksgiving or Christmas. We're just sort of watching and waiting and seeing. But we did have a big burst of babies, obviously, in the past couple of days. Ooh, good. Okay, so what we have right there, I know a lot of you know this, but I tell these little details for those that don't. So you can see that this baby is passing poo-poo. Let's just do it like passing poo-poo. But it's bright yellow. That is colostrum poo-poo. So in the first 24 hours, that is what the poop should look like. That is letting you know that this baby, other than you obviously viewing it, taking the nipple, but you're never guaranteed in knowing how much they're getting. So if you're seeing them pee-pee and poo-poo, especially like this right here, then you know the mama and the baby is doing exactly what they should be. And Tolly, as you can see, is on the job. The other baby, let's walk over here. There's brother. Brother's right there. He's resting right now. She's still passing. It looks like it's hanging. She's got to finish passing her little afterbirth there. I don't want to pull it yet because it's still kind of wet. I don't want to injure the goats at all by jumping the gun. So we watch that, but that should be done by this afternoon, right, Mama? How you doing? Oh, man, look at he is. He followed her all the way around. He is serious. They are serious about feeding time. Keep going, girls. You're not supposed to be out here. Big Daddy James is down there. We're going to get you back in the barn. Bibi, hey Bibi, did you tell everybody you're going to be a mama? Did you tell everybody you're going to be a mama? Yes, got your own stall and everything. She's got two beautiful babies, Romeo and Juliet, because they've got little hearts on them. All right, guys, let's catch you up on everything going on. Hi, sister. How are you doing, Bugsy? I know we didn't run today, and it's beautiful. What have you been doing? Have you been a good girl? You have? Are you sure? Well, okay. Was that a confession? Haha. Honey. Meriwether, I tried to give you your own stall and you had a conniption fit, which means you're going to have your babies out in the field. Okay. I don't know whether I'm coming or going because the last 4 days plus of our days of our lives has been incredibly tight and just exhausting. and dramatic. So I'm going to finally take a breather here with sister, because sister wants to walk the driveway. And I'm just going to catch you up to where we are. So, holy moly. So I've got video 1. By the way, welcome back to Appalachia's Homestead. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back. Welcome here. If you're new, please like, subscribe, and share. Hit that thumbs up button. Since things have been so chaotic the past 4 to 5 days, I'm just going to tell you what's going on. I've got a video before this one. See, this is what happens. It's great to film a video and get all these clips, and it's best to try to edit them and get that video up that day or the next day because everything is fresh in your mind. And guys, we went for like 2 days without sleep, very little sleep. It got very, very cold here in East Tennessee. We got down, I mean, I know if you're in Alaska, you're like 7 below, whatever. But we did get down to 25 degrees. And as you may know, with the pressure changing and my due dates as I scheduled them, we were pretty much right on par. Like I said, I was set to start having babies actually right at Halloween Day. And lo and behold, November the 1st, they started popping. And then they just kept coming. And I'm telling you, it's just like we were around the clock for 2 days, 48 plus hours, just nonstop. Now, because it was so cold, here's the exhausting part. Our barn is not heated. If you have a heated barn, very few do, and you live in a cold region or it gets cold, you are so blessed. I would love to build a little area that I can enclose. A friend of ours has an enclosed area, and he's got a shop and a nursery. A shop. That's who I got my beautiful buck from. He's got a shop and a nursery. And he is all Nubians. And what he does is he has the shop and he has a wood stove in there, right? It's an actual, there's no hay or there's nothing going on in there, but it keeps the whole area warm. And then right next to it in the same building is where the his does, only his does can come in and they deliver their babies and he keeps the babies in there and they stay really warm. That would be an awesome goal in the future. Keeping my fingers crossed on that. But we're not set up for that just yet. So we have to work with each individual decision and each individual situation. Can you tell I'm tired? Right now, I had told you that we had 12 does bred. Now that time has gone now that we're in the, at the end of the first week of November, I gotta tell you, I'm not sure that Show is bred. We're holding our breath either way on that. She hasn't gotten any bigger. She's not developing anymore, but with first-time mothers, it doesn't matter. So I know for a fact that we have 11 for sure bred does. We only have 3 left to deliver. So all of them have delivered with the exception of Coco, Merryweather, and BB. And it's getting a little tricky because they're a little temperamental. You will find that they're a little temperamental. BB in particular is very much a loner within the herd. She gets along enough, but when they're out in the fields, she has her space. If you put her in an enclosed area with all of the goats, they don't get along very well. So that's why you saw BB. She was a bottle baby. That's why you see her in the barn. Merryweather and Coco, we just tried to bring in. That's the last 3. I'll catch you up on everything else in just a second. But they weren't having it. They weren't getting along with BB. And Merryweather, I didn't want her to step on the new baby. So I put them back out for at least till tomorrow. The weather is warming up. We're going to be 80 degrees either Wednesday or Thursday. It's Sunday afternoon. Evening. It's going to get dark soon because the time changed. So there's good news and bad news. As of this moment, I have 11 babies. We had 1 stillborn. Katniss delivered 2 nights ago, and it was stillborn. It was on arrival, not with us. She mourned it. The spot that she gave, we took it, and she laid there. She's okay. She's doing much better now, but it took her a day. She didn't really want to leave that spot. She didn't really understand, and it was really sad. And she had that was a buckling, and it was I don't know what happened there. Don't have a clue. It was still warm. So it wasn't like she had it and then it froze or anything like that. We literally caught it as it happened, and the baby unfortunately didn't make it, that one. That was her first baby. So we're gonna have to monitor her. She seems to be okay. She's doing okay, hey, right? I love this shirt, love it. Dear lady sent me a couple t-shirts, and I love this. Thank you. I try to thank you every chance I get for all of your love and support. That was a tough moment. Let me come on, sister. The worst situation that we've had was with Mama. Big Mama. Big Mama, this will be her third kidding, having babies, has never had a problem. Great mama, very protective, wonderful milker, no problems at all. She went into labor 2 days ago. I had so many things going on at one time. And I noticed that it was taking a while, but I thought, okay, well, she was shedding some of her lining. Well, it went into the next day and she wasn't progressing, but she was fine, that we could tell. Long story short, at 12:30 at night, I came back up here to check on her, to check on everybody, because we checked on everything. I plugged back in my heat lamps, and she was down, and the baby, I knew she had to have at least twins. I was expecting triplets from her, and it was breech. The first baby was breech. I've never had a breech birth. I've never had to deal with that, but I did. I know I could just be on Yellowstone now. It's not funny, but I have to be light in a way about all this. Was successfully got her to deliver and got out the first baby, which was breech, and it was unfortunately it was passed as well. She kept pushing. She delivered 2 more babies, another buckling and a doeling. I thought they were going to make it. She was doing great. She did tend to them. We put them in their own stall. They had fresh everything, was doing great. I mean, as good to be expected. There was a lot of meconium, it looked like, in the sac, because it took her 24 hours to deliver these babies. I was about to call my vet. I was literally there. And I was able to get the breech baby out. She pushed out the last 2 who were alive, but by morning they didn't make it. So I lost 3 there. So I had a stillborn, then I had a breech, and I lost those. That so far has been my only set of triplets, and we lost all 3. I did beat myself up, although I know for a fact we did everything that we could for that. She is still alive and doing great. She cried for about a day. Was looking for her babies, but since then now, I'm actually going to be milking her colostrum if I can get it. I kind of left her alone a little bit. She's coming to milk, so I am going to try to see if I can get just something to put in the freezer from her. She's doing good. So that's where we are. And then this morning we had Romeo and Juliet from Miss Laverne. So everybody else is doing great, and we are still waiting on guaranteed 3 more mamas. Okay, I'm going to try to keep this part short and sweet because you can get so confused. I have 4 babies at the house that I have pulled that I'm going to be bottle feeding. I'm already bottle feeding them. I have worked with both of the mothers. They are twins. It's Salt and Pepper. Salt gave birth to Pinto Bean and Butterbean. She's a wonderful mother. She loves her babies, took them in, did everything right. The problem is her teats are so big, the babies cannot latch. I kept the babies with her for 2 days. We had no problems with aggression or neglect as far as the mom goes, but the problem is the babies can't latch to her teats because they are bigger than my cows. I'm not joking. They just can't work with it. So I made the decision to milk Salt and then feed her babies with her. Worked great. Well, then Pepper, her sister, her crazy sister, had 2 doelings out in the field. And she abandoned them. She won't have anything to do with them. So I knew that I was going to have to take those 2 babies to the house immediately, and I did. I was up with them for 24 hours, every 2 hours, giving them colostrum. I got the colostrum from the other doeling, because Pepper won't even, she is flipped out. This happens with first-time mamas. This is what I'm telling you, totally flipped out. So Salt was technically giving colostrum and feeding 4 babies at one time. So what I made the decision to do, because I had her sister rejected her babies, and then her teats are so big she couldn't feed hers. I've taken both sets of twins to the house to bottle feed them. See, if you don't have goats, this is what you need to know. And I've said this in past videos, but I'm gonna tell you right now. When the babies are born, they have to nip and zip, we call it nipping and zipping. They have to nip from the mama a lot the first 24 hours because they're getting the colostrum. If they don't get the colostrum, you're probably going to, at some point, have a lot of health problems with that goat, or it's probably not going to make it. Same thing with the calf, okay? They have to have that colostrum to seal the lining and get the rumen going. It's just the best thing for them. Just like with human babies, they tell you, don't they? They tell you, if you're not breastfeeding, that's your decision. But we highly encourage you to try at least for a couple of days so your baby can get that. That is the liquid gold right there, okay? Well, here's the problem. Salt has a lot of milk, but she has enough milk, frankly, at this point for 2 babies, not 4. So to keep the pressure off of myself, I'm going to feed the babies at the house. Those 4 at this point are drinking my formula. Not formula that I buy, it's formula that I make with whole milk, evaporated milk, and buttermilk. I had that already lined up ready to go because I figured there'd be a scenario. I have made the decision to milk her once a day if possible, and to consume that for now. And then I'm going to, because I just don't think I've got to keep it consistent. You cannot go back and forth. I can milk her and I can give the babies, but it's not going to be enough. And then I may have to go back and forth or change up at some point. It might be enough for right now, but it won't be soon. And then I'm going to have to switch things up, and it's best to go ahead. If I think, or if you think you're going to have to give formula to your goat kids, it's best to do that after they get their colostrum and just get them set, ready, and going. It's better for the schedule. You know what they're getting. There's no guesswork. You know exactly the times that they're being fed, and it's consistent for their body. This whole deal of giving some raw milk and then doing the whole... All of my goat ladies that I know, they don't advise that. It's just, so here's what I'm saying. If it was just salt and her babies, then I would milk her and be done with it, and it'd be her babies at the house. But I've got more than that, unfortunately. And Pepper's like, you ain't touching me. And to be honest with you, I'm not going to fool with her. So Pepper has been noted to be a sweet girl on most days until she's bred. So see, I won't breed her again. This is how you know. You have to monitor the situation and go, okay, is she a good mother? Is she able to handle this? Or like with mama goat, somebody would say, well, I wouldn't breed her again. I may not, but a breech is kind of like a fluke situation, whereas rejecting is beyond fluke in my mind. So I won't breed her again. Some of the ones that I thought might not work out have turned out to be fabulous so far. And 1 or 2 that I was worried about, one's really great, one's not. So you just have to go with it. It's almost like this. You don't know what you're going to get until it's happening. You just have to try to be as prepared as possible. It's a lot of work. We finally got some sleep last night. We feel a little bit better because it was rough. It got a little rough. But here's the thing. The weather is everything. Yes, honey. We would not have been so sleep deprived if we didn't have to work with heat lamps. I will not leave heat lamps by themselves. They're on, and we're either up here or around, or we're sitting up here, or we're watching. I'm very anal about heat lamps. They will burn your barn down before you can do anything about it. So here's what I'm saying. Last week we were 25, 30 degrees for a couple of days. This week we're gonna bounce up. In the daytime, we're going to be near 80. We're going to be in the 50s during the night, and we're going to be near 80. Now, we're going to cool down next weekend, but it's still above freezing. So my point is here's the thing. We were hoping that we were going to be beating that weather. We got close. So you have to monitor. And some people were like, well, why did you have them when you thought cold weather was coming? Well, first of all, we were hopeful we wouldn't have cold weather. But here's the thing. I have Nubian or predominantly Nubians, and they typically go into heat to make babies. They typically go into heat September, October, November, which means that's why you see so many people having babies in February and March. I hate that. So I wanted to see what I could do prior to cold weather coming in this year. And lo and behold, I got at least 11 does bred, which is pretty good. But, you know, the fluky weather, there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to work with it. And that's the exhausting part. Had we not had the weather we had last week, as opposed to having the weather we have coming up, we wouldn't be as tired. We would have worked a whole lot, but we could have slept more during the process. But we're catching up. We're down to the last 3. The weather is working out this week. I know these are going to be long videos. You'll see much more details coming up after these 2 videos. I just want to get them up here so we can catch up with everything and get you in the know of where we are. But so far we have 11 babies, 3 more does to go. The babies at the house, you're going to see a lot of them, the does. They'll be at the house for at least 2 weeks because I'm going to have to feed 4 times a day for 2 weeks. And then I will wean them down to 3 feedings a day. And hopefully by then we'll have everything rearranged. If we need to, I will move them up here and they will have their own stall. I'll have a nursery. I'll have a nursery. And see, by that time they'll be a little bit bigger. They'll be a little bit heftier. They're not going to be fresh born wet babies. So if it cools down again, they're going to be able to handle it a whole lot better. And that's what we're working towards. So we're over the hump, I hope. And we've had to do a lot of maneuvering, a lot of work. So guys, I appreciate you. I know this video and the one prior to this is probably going to be incredibly hodgepodgey. There has been so much going on the last 4 to 5 days. I mean, to be honest with you, everybody was laughing at me. The whole day on this past Thursday, I still thought it was Wednesday. And my son was like, Mom, it's Thursday. I'm like, no, it's not. It's Wednesday. He's like, Mom, no, it's not. We didn't know where we were coming or going. All right, guys. So I'm just going to break this video real quick. I got to get down to the house. I'm making pork chops for dinner. Then I got to come up here. I'm going to milk. And then I'm hoping to clean up my den because I really hope to get my Christmas tree up early this year. So we're doing everything. And we're not even mentioning all the world events just yet, but I'm sure we have a lot of catching up to do. Y'all keep busy out there, okay? Stay very busy. Like, subscribe, and share. I appreciate you all the time. Thank you for checking in on us. I have had so many calls, texts, emails, comments. So I'm just trying to catch up, and we'll get back into the flow of all videos, hopefully mostly daily, starting, well, now, right? Right? Love you guys. More videos coming your way. Thanks for the support. Like, subscribe, and share. If you have questions, let me know. I'll do my best to answer them. And we just appreciate you all the time. We'll see you on the next video. Y'all have a great night.